Mosey Tutoring. You plus us equals learning. Hello everyone, this is Moses, co-director of Mosey Tutoring, and in this particular training video I'm going to show you guys how to set up the 3 different accounts that we need from you guys. So as you guys might know from maybe some of the earlier videos, we require you guys to set up 3 different accounts. So we need you to create a Gmail account, we need you to create a Doodle account, and we also need you to create a MailChimp account. Now, the reason why we want you to create a Gmail account is because we want you to be using that particular email address to be communicating with your students, right? So if you use your regular email to communicate with the students, it won't be all that professional. And secondly, you might maybe your mailbox might fill up with a lot of stuff relating to Mosey Tutoring, and it can get a little bit confusing. So it's better if you create a separate email where all the information, students requesting tutoring, all that information will come to your that particular email address, and it won't be all that stressful. So that's primarily why we want you to create this Gmail account. Now, the reason why we want you to create the Doodle account, it's for the purposes of showing the students your schedule. So the students need to be able to see very fast what days, what times you're available, and Doodle does a great job. So that's why we want you to create a Doodle account. Now, for the MailChimp, the reason why we want you to create a MailChimp account, it's because we want you to be periodically emailing your students, all right? And MailChimp does a good job at giving you the tools to be able to do that effectively and professionally. Once you start tutoring for us, all right, you're gonna have a lot of students that are going to be going through you, all right? And the ability to keep a hold on those students is really important, all right? Because some students might just maybe through the the kind of the struggle of the semester, they just kind of like forget about you. But if you have the capacity to email them and say, hey, look, I have availability for this week, or if you send them something, some guide, maybe some instructional sheet that you created, or you send it to them by email, then that might just make them, or that might convince them to schedule another session with you. So basically this is going to help you to get more sessions, meaning that you're going to make more money. So it's really critical. All right, so let's go on to Google here, starting off with creating the Gmail account. All right, so once that you're at Google, you're gonna hit sign in, and here I have many accounts here, so I'm just gonna hit add account. Then here I'm gonna hit create an account, right? I know it's pretty simple. So you guys just put in your name. In this case, I'm gonna use John Doe. All right, now, so you would type in your name here, right? But for the username with the Gmail that we want you to create, so we want you to type in Mosey Tutoring dot your first name, right? So John, that's your first name, and then the first initial of your last name, D, right? So this is how we want you guys to format this. And you can choose the password that you want, so whatever. And you can configure your birthday, the date, your gender, put in your mobile phone. You can link it to your current email address, and then just prove to them that you're not a robot, and then hit next, and eventually you would have the Gmail account set up. So now what we want from you, once you create this account, we would need this particular email address from you, and we also need the password from you within the first 7 days, because we want to configure some things for you, so that you can be getting a lot of feedback from the main website. So we got to configure some things to your email address so that your particular email address is synced with the website. So whenever a student fills out a tutor request form, it would just enter your mailbox, and it's just going to be really good. And we also have some kind of monitoring things that we want to put into your account, so that would help you. All right, so now we go on to Doodle. Just go to doodle.com. All right, it already had me signed in, but now for the Doodle, you don't actually need to create a new username and a password, right? You can just sign in with your Gmail. So that Gmail account that you just created, all right, if you hit sign in here, it will give you an option, right? Doodle will give you an option to sign in with your Gmail or Facebook. Now we don't want you to use your Facebook, but we want you to use the Gmail account that you created, so that everything would sync. So the picture that you put would sync, all right, with this particular Doodle. Now it's important to be consistent with your pictures, right? So the picture that you give us to that we're going to use to construct your tutor page, you want to use the same picture for your Google, and you also want to use for your Gmail. You also want to use the same picture for the Doodle, but since it's going to sync, right, it's going to be the same picture. So the reason why this consistency of the picture is important is because the students are going to be able to recognize you by your name and your face. So having a consistent image is going to help the students to remember you better. All right, I'm just going to type in my my Gmail account. All right, sorry about that. You have to hit Gmail. All right, so now I just signed in using Gmail. So now I'm into Doodle system using my Gmail email address and password. All right, so once you've successfully logged into the Doodle, now you want to hit this button here, this Doodle logo. All right, so once you hit this Doodle logo, it's gonna bring you to this page here. All right, now what you need to do is hit schedule an event. All right. Alright, so once you hit schedule an event, it's going to bring you to this page here. And this is how you're going to create a poll so the students can see your availability. Alright. So it turns out that once we finish this process, Doodle is going to give us a particular link. Alright. Once you complete this whole thing and you get this link, we're going to need you to email us that link so that we can sync it with your tutor page. Right, that link is really important. All right, so now again, you can actually make this title whatever you want the title to be. So like for example, I can just say here Moses, and I tutor for organic chemistry. Alright, so the title can be really anything you want, but just make sure it says something about the courses you're tutoring in, or it just says that you're tutoring, you know, something like that. It's really optional about how you present the title. Now the location, so the location has to be consistent with the location you gave us to put on your tutor page, right? Again, in this case, I'm just gonna type in something random. And description. So for the description, there's a format that we want you guys to follow. All right, for this description, you can add more to it, but there's a particular format that we want you guys to follow so that students won't be lost when they're picking the particular time they want to meet up with you. So you can find what to put here on the website. Alright, so here on the website, once you go to any of the tutors page, you're going to see a little bit of information under step 1, right? So you want to copy this information, alright, and you want to paste it here, alright? So and if these little bullet points didn't transfer, you can just put them in. Alright, so what this does is that it informs the student what they need to do. Alright, the student needs to type in their name. Right, they need to type in their full name, the course, and the professor, and they need to put a little. Alright, so this little star here just indicates that they're interested in doing a combined session. Doesn't mean that they're doing a combined session, but that they're interested in doing a combined session. Alright, and then here we're just giving a little example of what we just stated here. Alright, then the next step will be that the student will select the times by checking them off, and then they will hit save, which is all the way at the far right. Now it's really important that once you complete this this doodle poll, that the students are consistently following this. Alright, so you would have to check up on this, and if the student didn't follow it, you would just have to remind them. Alright, and here is just your name and your email address, which should already be in there for you. Should already be in there, but you could change it, but we want you to keep this consistent with this Gmail email address that you created. And then you would just hit next. Alright, at this point in time, you're going to select your availability. Alright, alright, so now it's better if you change this view. It's a little bit restrictive in this particular view, but if you hit calendar view, it brings a better format. Alright, better format. So now what you have to do is you have to create little openings. Alright, so I can put here, starting from here to here, and you want to have it 1 hour intervals. So you would just select this, select these times like that, and you want to make them 1 hour intervals. Right, and these intervals are just indicating the times that I'm able to have a tutoring session with the student. All right, these are the times that they're going to be able to select on the poll to meet up with me. Alright, so we're going to require all tutors to be able to set aside 3 hours of every single day that they can devote to Mosey tutoring and to like tutoring students. So so for every like 6 days, right, you want to be able to put 3 hours for every single day. All right, you can put more, right, but you can put less. Now within those 3 hours, right, within those 3 hours that you put in, it's not guaranteed that a student will sign up for that session. So you can actually put 3 hours for a particular day, but then not have a session with the student. All right, and usually what happens is that the less time that you put in, the less of an ability you will be able to have a session with the student, because the student might not be able to meet up with you at that time. So it's actually better to have more times open. Alright, so once you finish selecting the times, then you can go on to the next week, right, and even put the times in for next week, right, or the week after that. But what we want you guys to do is we want you to be able to have a week in advance. You want to be able to have your schedule made a week in advance. So if I'm here on Tuesday, right, let's say if today is Tuesday, right, I want to be able to have all my availability until next Tuesday. All right, so an easier way to do it might just be to maybe make your schedule during a particular, you can probably like add more times every day, or maybe just do it ahead of time. All right, it might be easier just to add time every single day, or if you maybe want to choose a particular day of the week, you can choose that day and then create the entire schedule. But at the end of the day, whichever method you choose, you have to be able to have availability a week in advance, so that students can be able to meet up with you and can kind of know the times that you are available to tutor them. Alright, so once you finish configuring the times that you are free, alright, then you want to hit next. Alright, you don't have to worry about all the settings and stuff. Hit next again, and they want you to type in an email address. Just type in a random email address. Actually, the purpose of this is to actually send this poll information to a particular recipient, but all we really need from this is the link to that poll. So I'm gonna put one of my email addresses here, and then hit finish. Alright, so once you create that poll, they're gonna give you 2 links. This is the link that we require from you. Alright, the participation link. Alright, so we need you to copy this and email this to us. Now what's gonna happen is that once I type in this particular email, this link here to the browser, it's going to take me to the poll where I can be able to type in my name, select the times that I want, and hit save if I were a student, right? So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this. Alright, so pasting this link here, I can see the poll that I just created. Alright, so this is what a student would see. Alright, so they're gonna see that on the 27th I am free at these times. On the 28th I am free at these times. On the 29th I am free at these times, and these times here. So Now, normally what happens is that the student will come and they will type in their name, and of course they have to meet with the particular format that's above here, right? Once they type in their name according to the format up here, they would select the times that they want. All right, they can hit select multiple times. And just to be consistent, so let's say I'm John Doe, and my professor is my class is Chem 231, and my professor is Dr. Wong. All right, and then I will hit save. All right. Now if I return back to this poll, you can see that I have John Doe selected these times. All right, so you guys remember that the first step, all right, I'll go back to the website. All right, so remember that the first step required for a student to meet up with you is that they have to check your availability, all right, and select times on that availability. And we're doing this, we're able to show the students our availability as tutors through this button here. All right, so once the student hits this availability button, they will instantly be taken to this page here, all right, where they'll be able to type in their name, the course, the professor, and a little star if they're interested in a combined session. Now, it's true that you can't see the professor here, but if you can see it now, right? You can see the thing that came up underneath it, so you can see the full thing that I entered. So now this student didn't have a star next to their name, so that means that they're not interested in a combined session. But if they had a star next to their name, that means that they're interested in a combined session. And so if I'm another student coming in, let's say this is Johnny Quest, you know, he's in a different maybe let's just say that he's in the same class and same professor, and let's just say that John Doe did want a combined session and he had a star next to his name. Now Johnny Quest can just come in and select the same times that John Doe had, because John Doe indicated that he is interested in a combined session. So once Johnny Quest does this, he would then hit save. Right, again, if we return back to the poll, we can see that Johnny Quest is there and he's requesting tutoring at the same time. All right, so as a tutor, you have to be able to monitor the students that are signing up for a session with you. All right, you have to be able to monitor the students as they're signing up for a session. All right, this is really important. So the process for a student to sign up for a session is that first they have to see your availability. All right, they see your availability through the doodle, and in the doodle they're able to type in their name, right? They're able to check off the times and hit save. Now the second step of scheduling the tutoring session is that they have to complete the tutor request form. All right, now that tutor request form also has it has a space where the student can type in the time and date. That time and date that they indicate on that tutor request form should match with the time that they indicated on the doodle. What happens is that sometimes the student might check off the wrong thing. All right, so it's just a reconfirmation of the times that they selected, and it's also going to help you as a tutor to know that this student has signed up for a session. So you're going to be getting two kinds of emails. All right, the first email you're going to be getting is an email indicating that a student has signed up on Doodle, As soon as John Doe Chem 231 signs up and hits save, I receive an email. You will receive an email, on your poll. As soon as another student signs up this time, you receive another email as soon as it hits save. Now, once these two students go on to step 2 and fill out a tutor request form, you'll also receive another email, another confirmation. So you have to look at those emails really fast and just make sure that they match up. All right, as a way of monitoring. All right. So by looking at this, you'll be able to see that you're going to have a combined session on Monday the 27th, 3 to 4 p.m. and also 5 to 6 p.m. All right. And so you'll be able to know this information just from looking at here. So you're going to be getting a lot of this information being sent to your email. So you're gonna have the ability to monitor these things as they happen. All right. So now it's also good to emphasize this. You're going to be receiving overall 3 emails. All right. The first email you're going to receive is from the doodle. Second email you're going to receive is the tutor request form. The third email you're going to receive is the payment form. All right. All these emails are going to be sent to you. So you're going to know the times the student selected on the doodle. From the tutor request form, you're going to know that this student actually, first of all, you're going to know the tutor's cell. You're going to know their email address. You're going to get a reconfirmation of the times they selected on the doodle. All right. That's going to be sent to your email. And then the third thing that you're going to be receiving as an email is the payment. All right. So you're going to receive these 3 emails. You have to make sure that they align. All right. So a student that is signing up for an individual session, they have to pay for an individual session, right? Which is $26. And if they're signing up for a combined session, you have to make sure that the second student selected this, the second student signing up for the combined session selected the right option. Now the first student, so this first student here, right, that signed up would pay $26 for the combined session. Yanni Quest would not pay $26. All right, he would pay $21. All right. Now what's going to happen is that both of these guys were supposed to pay $21, but John Doe didn't know ahead of time that Johnny Quest was going to sign up for a combined session with him. All right. So what we're going to do is that during the next session, John Doe is going to be able to get a discount, and instead of paying $26, he's going to we're going to subtract that difference. All right. So 26 to 21, that's $5. So we're going to give him a $5 discount on his next tutoring session. So that means that during his next individual tutoring session, he's going to pay $21. All right, just going back to the website. Again, this is the tutoring request form, right? Students fill it out, they hit submit, you receive an email. All right, this is the payment form. All right, remember that the students have to pay on your tutor page. All right, your tutor page payment form is going to have your name on it. Now, so once the student hits submit, you'll receive an email. Now, John Doe during his next tutoring session is not going to pay $26. All right, because we need to account for that. We need to account for the fact that he was in a combined session, but he paid $26. So instead of selecting here for an individual tutoring session, he would select here and just type in 21, and he would pay for his individual session here for that next one individual tutoring session. All right. So this is how we're accounting for just these differences in payments during combined sessions. Mosey Tutoring. You plus us equals learning.